So if you have the moon in the 6th house, any of those possibilities, the moon is the emotional needs of the person. And 6th house is a house of purification and order and cleanliness. So if their life is not going well, if they're feeling emotionally unhappy for some reason, those people, the emotions are out of balance, let them clean up their house. Let them file up their wardrobe. Let them just purify around the home physically, or even start drawing, putting order around them. Or you can do a physical purifications. A person whose moods with the moon in the 6th house are out of order, just cleanse him, give him a fasting, give him a purification of the body, which means put him on green leaf vegetables. So start eating, if you're that person, start fasting for a couple of days on fruits and vegetables only, or even for a few meals only for 24 hours. This will immediately rebalance the moods, because the emotional need, even if you don't realize it psychologically, your body, your whole being, your soul needs order and purification. You can give it through food, through order around it, through putting order in your own feelings and minds and your own head, writing maybe if you're too much of a jumble and worried, because such people tend to be a bit of worriers a lot. They worry a lot emotionally about a lot of things, so they can have a tendency to more negative thinking or to stressing a bit more emotionally. And the best thing for them to do is make lists. Put your thoughts down to make an order out of them, to purify those thoughts, to simplify them, to make lists, make charts, whatever, or purify yourself in the ways that I said. And maybe through sports as well. They have an emotional need of maintaining purity of the body, and sports, getting a nice sweating is very good for those people, or going to purification through sauna, for instance, will really help them for balancing the emotions, which can more often than in other people be out of balance, or be a bit more negative, a bit more worry prone as well. Cleanliness and order is very important in all levels for those people. And health, taking care of their health, going to the gym, eating properly. They might even sometimes become very extreme, not extreme, but they have an emotional need to do that. Some people can live forever without this, but these people, their health is very sensitive, and their moods so much depend. Their moods depend a lot on the well-being of their body. So they need to have gym. If you have moon in this, have gym, have very healthy regime, because also your health becomes very sensitive. The moon is very vulnerable planet, and in the 6th house of illness, it makes the person prone to more chronic illness, or to having more illness, weaker body somehow. The vital organs might be a bit weaker. They may be more susceptible to cold, to toxicity of the blood, because moon rules all the liquids. You know how the moon rules all the oceans, how it affects all the tides in the world. The same way it rules the liquids in our body. So for such people, there might be a bit more toxicity or imbalance in the bloods, and they have to live a pure life. It's of a sense for them to feel emotionally balanced. Otherwise, there can be extremes for them, as I said. 6th house is, as I said, it's a bit of an extreme house, so the way to balance this is health. But 6th house is the house of, first of all, let's speak about the more positive sides of 6th house. 6th house, so as I said, such people can be nutritionists, can be fitness instructors as well, because they have the need to do this in their life, so they can actually apply it later on in as a career. They can be doctors, they can be people who are taking care of the body and helping others take care of disease or illness in any way. And 6th house rules all kind of these balances in life. All kind of people who are marginal, who are afflicted, who are victimized, people with status lower than you, like servants, like pets, for instance, like victims of rape, victims of anyone who has suffered. So such people have a lot of emotional attachment and sympathy for such underdog people, for marginally poor people, for people, or it might not be for all of those different causes, but it might be one cause. For instance, for pets, sixth house rules pets. For animals, wild animals, or any kind of animals, sixth house rules animals. They're someone who has a lower status than you, and such people might be supporters because they feel, the moon is the feeling planet. They feel compassion and they feel great attachments to such things, you know, for underdogs, for afflicted people. So they can work in social services, they can work in charities, they can work in hospitals for sick people, taking care. They can work protecting the rights of weak people. They can be even lawyers and litigators who are taking care of such cases. And sixth house rules also arguments. So for such people, there might be more than a bit in their life, arguments or having to overcome enemies. You know, sixth house rules enemies. And moon is the planet of females and the mother. And sometimes the mother even can become a bit of a more of an enemy figure in your life, or a bit more tension between you, a bit more arguments. The primary mother figure, maybe it was your grandmother, or maybe you didn't have mother, it was your father who played this figure. But for most people, it will be the mother or the stepmother. There might be a bit of a disharmonious imbalance in the relationship there, or with other older women. Sometimes they can be like enemies to you. It's not always the case. As I said, there are always big exceptions, you know, how if the moon is well aspected, this can actually help you a lot. But usually people tend to encounter a bit more obstacles in life to overcome, and a bit more arguments in life, and a bit more circumstances which are disbalanced that they have a need to fix. Almost they can be like a compulsive fixer. Such people, they might have a need for perfection. The moon shows your needs, you know, and such people might be constantly trying to make everything perfect, better, improve, or tell to this person, criticizing a lot, oh, you're, you know, your clothes are a bit dirty, or you should work out in the morning, or you shouldn't eat the sweets, or you should fix they might be a bit of warriors. They worry a lot, and they critique a lot because of their perfectionism in them that they have themselves, and they always want to improve things somehow. But don't be hard on them, because actually they're even if they critique you a lot, they're themselves very self-critical. They notice a lot imperfections and things that are not done properly, and it actually affects a lot the emotional well-being, because the moon is the emotional well-being. So small things can put them out of balance. So you have to be careful a lot, because any kind of disturbances, emotional disturbances, can put your physical well-being out of balance. A lot of your illnesses that you might get, they're based on emotional, psychosomatic situations, on emotional issues. And also sixth house shows your work as well. So for such people, work can be of such importance that the emotional well-being depends on the service they're giving. Sixth house is actually giving service, being of use. It's not so much work, career, achievement, becoming star and famous or something. That is 10th house. This is recognition, career. This is service, being of service. So such people they have a need of being useful somehow to others. Even if you're not working, you'd want to help others, to do something for others. Otherwise, you will feel unhappy. If a person with the moon in the sixth house is very selfish and never does any service or doesn't work, most people balance this out through their own work. But if you're not working and you're unhappy with the moon in the sixth house, go and find the work, or go help in charities. Go be of service, be helpful, be practical. Be of practical use to others. Fix your friend's garage. Help your best friend cook or something. You know, be of service. Then your emotions will be rebalanced by helping others who have need as well. Being of service, this is what rebalances and gives better happiness to those people, improves their emotional well-being. And as I said, work is so important for the emotional well-being. Just staying at home and not doing anything can actually really affect such people a lot. And emotional well-being, as I said, they're a bit more sensitive, and their health is a bit more sensitive, especially digestive system can be a bit more sensitive, because moon rules blood, it rules the digestive system, it rules the stomach. Moon rules some of the vital organs and psychosomatic things, so be careful. But if you learn to live a balanced and purified life, you can have great, actually this moon can really, this weakness can become one of your biggest strengths. You can turn it into a career. You can turn it into great source of knowledge and help for others. So thank you so much, and please give us feedback.